I'm out here in the garage getting busy, trying to get in what I can get in. Just remember, no matter what life throws at you, keep smiling. I kind of feel like you don't need any particular specific front delt work. If you do enough pressing stuff, I don't think you really need any particular specific front delt work. It's always panned out that way for me anyway. I got to keep busy. I know it may seem like there's nothing out there but bad news. And I'm sure people are getting a little stir crazy, a little cabin fever by now. But you got to keep your head up, man. You got to keep your head up. Think of those who've come before you, if nothing else. What they've endured, what they've been through, what they had to go through. It's unfortunate. It's actually a bit pitiful. It's pathetic, really. That it just I don't have an inside track to this bullshit. So I hear a lot of what's out there, same as probably most of you guys do, most of you folks do. A lot of conspiracy theories, a lot of fear mongering. But I can tell you right now, you might as well just gear yourself up for it. It very much seems to be true that we're going to be dealing with this for the rest of the year. Now, to what extent, I don't know. This virus is going to be with us. You're not going to have... everybody seems to be putting all their eggs in the same basket. They're waiting for a vaccine. And that vaccine's not happening this year. It's just simple as that. It's just not going to happen this year. There's just too much just to go into it. If they come up with a vaccine that quickly, that's even more suspect than if it didn't happen until after the new year. But I'm pretty sure everybody's going to resume their day-to-day, basically. But yeah, it's going to be different. It's not going to be the same as it was before all this bullshit. That part's true. But I'm pretty sure everybody's gonna be able to get back to work. They're gonna be changes, but what are you gonna do about it? What can you do? Throw in the towel? We're here for the duration, so buck up. So other than that, I know a lot of people. I'm gonna put a video together with clips and pieces. We've got a lot of our family, how they've been staying in shape, what they've been doing to stay positive. There's a whole lot of good men, women, good brothers and sisters that have been posting on Instagram and have even been sending me pictures of makeshift equipment, stuff they've found they're able to utilize or hammer together. Stuff they've been able to utilize or hammer together. And work out with to maintain their fitness, their level of fitness. And some people have branched out into entirely new areas like bike riding, for instance. I used to love to ride bikes when I was a little kid, but I haven't ridden a bike in a long time, really. And, there were a couple of these bikes were sitting in the barn all this time, so I got one out and cleaned it up some, lubed it up a little bit. Luckily, the tires, the tubes held air. And I've been doing some bike riding now. Every morning I get up, I go for a ride. I put a little video of it in here. And the camera mounted on this bicycle, being that it's no real suspension to speak of at all. Well, there's no suspension. It's all straight up and rigid. Camera absorbs a lot of vibration, which hadn't occurred to me until I played the footage back, and it's really, really shaky. But 4 pretty good-sized deer leapt out in front of me from one side of the trail and crossed my path, and jumped over the train tracks and crossed my path, and ran up into the woods and foliage on the other side. And it wasn't very far in front of me. It looks further than it was because the little camera I was using, it's like a wide angle, and everything looks further off than it is in it. But the video came out so shaky because of the road surface, and just because it was mounted to the handlebars of the bicycle, you know. So I've been doing that. I've been riding a bike now. Each morning I get up, I go out, I ride the bike. I had to start to do something because my usual go-to, my default for trying to maintain my musculature when I'm in a situation where I'm not going to be able to train for a while, or maybe I'm not getting the same foods in the same quantity I was, whatever the case may be, if I have to have downtime like that, I keep my body weight up. That becomes as far as my physique, that becomes the top priority in that aspect of my life, you know, physique-wise. It's just maintaining body weight, keep the body weight up. So I'm one of those guys, I would always rather do a recomposition than have to try to come up from a lower body weight and regain everything. Much easier for my body if I can maintain that weight, maintain that load on my skeletal structure, then it's much, much, much easier, very quick transition for me to just do a recomposition. So I've always found it's very easy for me to keep my body weight up. Now, for those people that are like really adverse to gaining any body fat, that they're not willing to allow themselves to gain a few pounds of fat, they want to stay lean all the time, then it's going to be tough. You might not be able to pull that off. It might not work so well for you just psychologically, but I don't mind it a bit. I've been doing this for over 3 decades, and it shows, you know. There's all kind of people on YouTube, they want to tell you how many years they've been doing something. You can do something wrong for a long time. You can do something half-assed for a long time. I know exactly what I'm doing, and it's a lot easier for me just to maintain body weight and do a recomp. So I had put on a good bit of size. My body weight's up pretty good right now, but I feel good. I feel really good. It's not like there's a lot of demand on me. I'm doing a lot around here outside. There's always stuff to do around here, and it's never a place where I'm going to find myself ahead of everything there is to do, because there's always things to do out here, always. So that's kept me busy, and that's kept me in shape somewhat. And I'm also now riding the bicycle. You know, that's going to burn some calories, but I need to improve cardiovascular conditioning as well. Because let's face it, if this were sincerely going to change our lives, you have to really reassess and wonder, are we really fit for this? You know, some are, but are we really fit for this? You know, if you're ex-military, for example, are you in similar condition as you were when you were active in the military? You know, some of you, maybe you are. I certainly am not at all. So, you know, the bike riding is just the first step to start to bring back some cardiovascular conditioning. So I do that, and then a lot of times we go for a walk down the other end of the trail at the end of the day. And we'll walk a long ways and then walk all the way back. So yeah, it's only walking, okay? But if I didn't do the walk versus I do the walk, it's 100% more than I would have done if I hadn't done the walk, if I hadn't done it, right? So little things count, small steps to the moon as always. But keep your head up, man. Keep your spirits up. Do what you got to do to stay sane, but you know, explore things. Don't let it get you down in the dumps to where you just bury your head in the sand and you're kind of just laying around. You're watching too much of the boob tube, and you know, use this time. Seize this opportunity. Normally, we're at work, we're busy, we're grinding. Most of us seize this time to acquire a new skill, or to sharpen or regain older skills that you might have let fall by the wayside, or explore something that you had an interest in and you just haven't had the time to do. You know? So that means for me, probably playing more guitar is the next move. I was fiddling around a little bit last night, doing a little picking, and I could always use some improvement there. Right? I don't even do it enough nowadays. And, I'm going to concentrate on getting into shape now. I want to lean down and harden up. I don't want to maintain my body weight. And it's not like that's a great challenge right now because I'm so far out of shape cardiovascularly, so it'll be easy to make those improvements. And keeping up the body weight is not a challenge because there's not a lot of caloric demand. In my job, normally I'm on my feet all day long. I'm hustling, I'm bouncing around, jumping and moving. And now, not so much. I'm trudging through the woods and climbing up the rocks and doing all this other shit out back throughout the day. But I just think I'm going to seize this opportunity. In other words, here's the challenge. Can we go back to work in better shape than we were when we left? Sometimes you become a little more lethargic than you realize. Can we be in better shape? Or are we just going to go back fatter and weaker and less cardio conditioned? So I want to try and seize advantage for that. Thank God I at least have elbow room out here and I have space to do some things. But that would be my advice, man. Don't bury your head in the sand. Don't just let the time wash over you like you're a convict locked in a cage doing time, right? Just days just rolling and washing over you, getting away from you. Try to make yourself get up early if that's something you need to work on. Try to set even small goals, even small improvements. If you don't make your bed in the morning, maybe start to do that when you get up. There's small things. If big things seem monumental, then do small things. And I'm right there with you. You know what I mean? The things that I need improvement on, even small improvement is still improvement. So set some goals or set some markers for yourself and keep your head up, man. And maybe treat this as an opportunity to gain things or regain things rather than a situation that's merely just going to take things from you. So that's about all I got to say, man. Just I'm right there, right along with you. I'm feeling it too. Just hang in there. Everything's going to get, after this, Christ, even if it gets halfway back to normal, it's going to be an improvement, right? And I'm not here, this video is not for me to comment on what's going on and how much things have changed and my feelings and opinions on all these different issues, but that's the most important part, is how we make it through it, how we come out of it. So, and your state of mental health. So that's it, guys. Take care of yourself. God bless. Keep it together, man, and keep your head up. All right, believe it or not, I'm going for a bicycle ride. I've got this Murray bicycle that was left here. It was in the barn. The older gentleman that moved out and sold us the house, he left a lot of stuff behind, which is cool because it's all useful, good stuff. But I just aired up the tires. I don't know if they're going to hold. I hope they're going to hold. Lubed up the chain and some of the other moving parts. And I'm going to go for a ride on a rail trail. It's pretty dirty, cobwebbed up, but seems to be in mechanically sound.